So I'll call the meeting to order. So we'll do roll call on Meryl Manish-Nucci.
Alex Bickmeyer.
Tara Elka. Mary Ellen Anderson.
Barb Fish.
Is anybody online?
Yeah, she had a meeting, Deb had a meeting that would start or end right at noon, and so I'll bet she'll pop in.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a quorum. So how about approval of the minutes from March 14th?
I move that we approve the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Do we have any, does anybody have any amendments for the agenda today?
The only thing I thought of was the online calendar. I have a question about it.
Okay. So that would be under discussion items, is that where we want it? Sarah, or under new business?
Let's do discussion items.
Okay.
Okay,
We could do it under A. There's now a general one that says comments, suggestions, and feedback.
Yeah,
oh, right,
It
okay,
says received by a member of the public, but you're.
Okay.
I am.
so that will be where we'll put it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so, I'd like a motion to approve the agenda as adjusted by the amendment.
Can I say that? I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, persons to be heard related or unrelated to the agenda? Nope. Okay, moving right along. Director's report.
Okay, so
All right.
we opened on Monday, May the 1st. Great. So now open Mondays. It was really awfully nice to be closed on Mondays through the winter time. It was quiet. So I can't say that will happen again at some point, depending on our staffing issues, but for now we are open, fully staffed. And so,
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah,
Is
sure.
Monday seem to be the day when the least people come in?
it can be a quiet day.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there really is, I would say there's not, Saturday actually can be a quiet day too.
Interesting.
It's pretty benign.
Yeah, okay.
Seasonal, very seasonal as well. So April, busy for programming. Sorry, I can't believe how much she gets accomplished.
She's
So-
amazing.
She's amazing. So we finally got Kathy Rousseau from Catch Can, the basket weaver.
Yes.
And we also did some art workshops with Lisa Shramick Adams. And Kari has started a new after-school program called Maker's Lab for Kids, which is proving to be quite popular. And it's like self-directed activities using discovery kits of the robotic stuff that we have and arts and crafts. And she wants to kind of pilot that program. It's just cool.
Oh. Deb's here.
Hello.
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 So wait a minute, right?
Oh,
We're on, Deb, we're on the director's report right now.
Okay,
So you know what we're up to here.
great, thank you. I was sitting in a Zoom room and nothing was happening, so I thought I'd re-sign in.
Oh, okay.
Glad you
And
got
there
it.
you were.
Okay, so let's see what else happened in
So the
April.
Maker Lab.
Maker's Lab was going really, really well. I think she'll continue it after summer reading, or maybe even as part of summer reading, I'm not sure. Yoga with Karen Malcolm also continued, as well as story time, which is now called Stories in Motion.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, to encourage wiggly kids to come.
Yeah, you know, when I was in Bellingham, oh, that should be different, but anyway, Bellingham does one where it's all interactive, like the gal reads a book.
Yeah.
They sing a song, they're all doing these motions, then she turns on dance music, everybody's
Oh.
dance. So that does get more work, and then they can come back and then they can read again.
Yeah,
So it's kind
yeah,
of fun.
it's.
I'm glad to
it's
see
great.
that Kari's doing that too.
Yeah, so the next part of my report, I accidentally cut and pasted into here, and it's a mistake. That's why the pronoun used is I, because Kari sends me an email saying what she's doing, and I cut and pasted. I'm supposed to edit it and then pull out the original. Sorry, I didn't do it properly. So let's just skip ahead to the fact that in April, Kari collaborated with Matt Garrett's to do a story walk activity for kids with Starflower the duck, who I'm sure you all are familiar with.
Yeah.
And it's a very cool book. Gus, her son Gus, who's a
Oh.
trained comic artist, helped her complete that. Was very fun. So the story walk was at the early childhood education fair, and unfortunately a very rainy day, but what happened is the kids walked through the story, which is paced down a trail, and then at the end, Matt and the duck are sitting there in real life.
Oh,
So how cute is that?
perfect. Yes, that's very.
So
Yeah.
the question for my daughters with the kids that did that, who loved it, is that should be a book.
That should be
Exactly.
about- I've been
Be a
thinking
book.
that too.
I want to read the book.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
I just
So
thought
what,
I'd
is
throw
it
that
just
out there.
one copy that's been made
There's
or?
just one copy that's been made.
Okay,
Because they have Matt's, it has Matt's photographs in it, copyright is not an
Right.
issue, right, distribution, but. I'll talk to Kari about Matt's here and see what he thinks about maybe at least making 1 or 2 copies available here for check.
and is it
Yeah.
something we'd want to sell at a,
That would
book
be
sale
probably
in
a
the
little bit,
future?
because of the copyright issues with these photographs, I'd be a little hesitant to do that
well, it would be with his permission.
with his permission, but
Yeah.
then there's royalties and.
Oh, I see.
Right, so
Yeah.
yeah, having it just at our library would
Just
be
for
a
checking.
good,
Right.
good
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Gina and Hannah, they said it was really cool.
Yeah.
And their kids really liked it because they know Matt.
Mhm.
We run into him on the road all the time.
Yeah.
We all know Starflower now.
Yeah,
And Starflower, they really know him. Yeah, her, Starflower, yes.
her,
Cool.
yes.
So May slows down a little bit for programming, because summer reading programs are on the horizon. There's a call for donations
Oh.
out and we've gotten lots back. And as usual, there's 3 programs planned, adults and teens, sort of the independent readers category, as well as for little kids that are being read to. So there's prizes in the main lobby right now, and Kari will do school tours this week, and it'll kick off next week.
Uh-huh.
So big effort.
It looks terrific.
Yeah, it does. The
It looks
paddleboards
to-
hanging up.
when
I
you-
don't know, I actually got them up yesterday, but.
When you
like,
walk in, it's
amazing.
just, yes.
Yes.
Makes me want to do the reading
And it
program.
makes me want to do the.
Well, you could.
Yes.
Is it understanding?
about board?
No, there's no rule.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't want a staff person to win, but a board member. could win.
That's okay.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, so what else? This summer, another sort of interesting thing that Kari will be doing is working with Pia Riley and
Oh.
Switzerland. Now, Marilyn will remember the stream of
Yes.
Yeah,
stream
Yeah.
of fish. So Kari and I have been working on and off with the people who do that Canadian program
mhm.
for a while, and it all ended up to be, I don't know if Kari updated you on this.
Yeah,
Just far too expensive.
well, and when I
To bring
brought
them
it,
up here.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I brought it to your attention, I mean, I did think it'd be cool to have them up, but at the same time, I mean, it's cool that we're doing our own thing, so it's
Mhm.
not the exact
Yeah.
same thing,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, so we're taking this idea of, a fish / art installation.
Right.
Created by youth, and I think adults can participate too.
Mhm.
So Pia and Joseph will collaborate. Pia will help people paint the fish. And then Joseph will put an armature in our garden. This is sort of a wave type structure with rebar, and the fish will be put onto the
What are the fish made out of?
marine grade plywood.
Okay.
Kind of like those medallions that you see that. Phyllis done.
Yeah.
So will there, like, I mean, when I saw 3 different installations and it said stream of fish, but there were other things besides fish, but they were all marine related.
I'm not sure what Kari has
Okay.
right now. I think it's
Like
just
a
fish.
starfish.
Starfish.
Yeah, starfish or even a seagull, there was a seagull and, just, anyway.
Yeah.
She knows what to do, but I just thought I'd throw that out there too.
Yeah, so we're coming up with our homemade version of this.
Yeah,
program.
nice.
that's a great idea.
Mhm.
And keep the money in the communities.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
like it. Mhm.
It's all funded by the Healthy Communities grant that we got from the Alaska Community Foundation.
Mhm.
This
Will this be primarily during the school year next year?
is actually during the summer, I think,
This summer?
this summer.
Wow.
Late June, early July, I think. is
She's
when-
busy.
Yeah. she's busy. And then I will let you know too, at the end of it, on the 19th of July, she's flying away
Yeah.
to go to massage therapy school for
Mhm.
6 weeks.
Oh,
For her.
so what does that mean about her working here
She
though?
plans to continue working here.
Oh, okay.
It's a side gig. Phew.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Another job.
Yeah.
Oh, she's,
We
yeah,
lost her.
she's terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Where's she going?
Well, right now, Montana, I get this mixed up. Yeah, somewhere down there.
Okay,
Okay, so the next thing, grants, this is also a Curry thing. Last year she partnered with the Alaska Heritage Institute to do Baby Raven Reads a Story Time. This was funded by an IMLS grant, and that's the Institute for Museum and Library. It says science here, but it's actually services. So she partnered with them and did that. It was very successful. It was awesome. And so they've asked us to partner with them again on a grant and potentially developing curriculum for 9 of the books published by the Alaska Heritage Institute.
okay.
And so I'll keep you guys posted if we get
Yeah.
to be part of that. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Did,
But they
was
feel
Jeanette
good.
the only one that read last time?
I can't remember. Deb, I think maybe you read.
Did you read in that program too, Deb?
I did not read in that, but there was other readers. Jeanette wasn't
Oh,
the
okay.
only one. She was just the most photogenic one. Although she was also, I mean, she really engaged the children. They were, you know, continued to scoot up near her and like the
Cute.
picture that was in the newspaper.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was a good.
No, that's a great program,
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, we really have to be part of it. So staff training, Martha and Barb are both enrolled in the beginning cataloging class in June. Fun.
They know how to
So-
have fun.
Tell me exactly what that means, Karen.
Well, so take a book, every book or
Uh-huh.
DVD that comes into our collection. It has to be cataloged. And so what that means is that we often will pick up catalog records from the wider world of libraries or something called OCLC, that we'll download a catalog record, but then we have to download it into our system and then make it work within our system.
And the
Okay,
catalog record consists of all the information about the book, the year it was
Oh.
published, the authors, the illustrators, the
ISBN.
ISBN
size.
numbers, the size of the book, the number
Yes.
of pages of the book, and each one is a different field that you have to fill
Oh,
in.
my.
So they used to do all this by hand and on cards.
right,
when
I
was
remember that.
beginning in library.
Yeah.
And now it's just this big, they call them MARC records, marked records, and you just download it, and then you fill in the things that are
Okay.
specific to
But
your
that's a lot of
library.
work, isn't
Like a
it,
lot of
to fill it in?
It's a lot of work, but a lot of work's already done when you download.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot less work than it
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So-
so,
For me, it was a lot of work because I was also doing everything in that
Yeah.
library.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's like when we look up a book and we click on it,
Yes.
and then that's all the
Right.
information.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who's doing it now?
Right now, actually, Martha and Barb are in fact doing what we call copy cataloging or processing
Okay.
right now. But they don't know the underlying theory, like they don't know how to read a
Yeah.
mark record. And things
Wow,
like that. Beth has
good.
taken this class. Chris is the primary cataloger.
Oh, okay.
And so
Impressive.
we thought, because there's this great training source called Info People, and they're offering classes and.
Nice.
Like if they're interested in cataloging.
I actually really enjoy
Yeah.
it. It's
I
kind of
did not.
easy.
Not my thing.
Well, it's interesting because like if I look up a DVD series, it's really tricky to get where, I mean, even though you put DVD series in, books come up, or, I mean, I don't understand.
Yes,
what happens.
yes, it's.
And then it says advanced search, what does that mean? And
You should have Chris sit down with you and she can
Yeah.
teach you how to use the catalog.
I suppose, yeah, okay.
If only it was as easy as Google.
Yeah.
The search infrastructure in our catalog
Okay.
is just not, it's just not what you're gonna see
No.
on Amazon.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's unfortunate, but that's all very tightly guarded.
It's a very library work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not.
well, that's great that they're doing that.
Yeah, so I'm excited that they're even interested in such a thing. And in March, Cory participated in a 2-day workshop called Leading Conversations that was hosted by the Alaska Communities Forum. This is like hosting sort of topical, maybe slightly difficult conversations in the community setting. A bunch of folks, I think 10 or so participated locally, and this group is actually planning to move forward and host conversations in the community. And the first ones will be at the library.
Yeah,
They'll be at the library.
okay.
I have my phone on silent, but for some reason,
It's okay.
alarms still go off, even
They
if the
do.
phone's on silent.
They do. Yeah, so in June, there may be one coming up about gender and culture.
Oh,
And these are, from what little I know about it at this point, these are They're basically pre-formatted questions and formulas given by the Alaska Community Forum, Alaska Humanities Forum, sorry. And 20 people can register. So it's not like a community meeting about gender. It's a specific sort of a conversation, a moderated conversation.
Okay,
So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when did you say that might
I
be?
think June, I think early, mid-June, so
Okay.
not too far away. I
Okay.
think she's working with Everett at Wave to try and
Okay,
get that up and going, so. Yeah, we're excited.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's difficult territory to be wading into, but I think that we're in good
Yeah.
hands with the Humanities Forum and the local folks who are trained up on this. Maintenance, that's very interesting.
Yes.
Let's talk about the water in the server room in March. So we have 2 conduits that come up into our server room. All of a sudden, there's water on the floor.
All of all places in the library.
All places
Yeah.
in the library. And so there was lots of pumping that week and bailing. The maintenance department was great, helping us, and everybody came together and sort of helped solve the problem within a week. APT had rerouted the communication cables, and Crescata Public Works coordinated all that on behalf, which was great. Pull out of my desk.
Somebody was thoughtful enough to have a spare conduit.
There was a spare conduit,
Holy
because we have
mackerel.
APT and
Yeah.
GCI coming into the building, and so I believe they just piggybacked into the GCI.
Good.
Conduit. At some point that might need to be fixed, it runs under the street. I have no idea, they, Public Works, who knows about streets and conduits and such.
Right,
Will
right.
make that decision, and if they do, we'll have to pay for it, so I'll keep you posted about that.
Yeah.
Also, our power usage has increased significantly, and I've said 50% here, but essentially it's $1,000 a month is what we're seeing, it's gone up. by
And what-
$1,000 a month.
What is it?
That is the question, the $1,000,000 question.
Right, because this time of the year, I mean, you're not using as many lights. And,
Yeah.
or heat.
It's not time of year, because ever since we've opened the building, I have a spreadsheet where I track all the
Mhm.
utility bills and usage and everything, and you can go online and do it with 402.
Yeah,
And it's not seasonal,
right.
but it does coincide with the installation of a new electrical meter, so there's a pretty good chance
Oh,
that this very
yes,
smart
yeah.
meter that we have is way smarter than our old one.
Ah,
There's a small chance that
It's too smart.
there is something happening in the building when we look at the logs that says that there's a very high demand piece of mechanical equipment that's operating in the building between 2 and 6 in the morning when nobody is here.
oh,
And unfortunately, we can't look back and see if that always happened, because we've never really cared one way or the other, because the bill is so reasonable.
right.
And now we're looking back. Siemens, who oversees our electrical and mechanical systems, is going to be
That's interesting.
running some reports every day for us, I think until next week, and then Carl and I and Jim Holder, the maintenance guy, will take a look at what
And you-
that is.
You
that's
know the
doing
piece
that.
of equipment that it is, or you're just trying to
We
figure it
don't
out?
know. It's probably gonna be
guess.
like the air handler, or
Wow.
maybe one of the pumps in the mechanical room, but it's hard to say. There's not a lot of high demand things in the building.
Not
But
in
up
the
until
middle
we
of the
got this
night.
meter, we didn't care, because our electrical bill was very reasonable.
Uh-huh,
And it's when it's dark.
It's when it's dark. Yeah,
that's
but there's
crazy.
nobody in the building, and we don't have the heat going full bore or anything.
That's really crazy.
Yeah,
Interesting.
could just be a new meter. I know I had a broken meter in my own home and got a deep discount on electricity for a long time.
Oh, really?
And the harbor was the same way.
Oh, yeah.
When they redid the North Harbor, talked to Glow about it, because there
Yeah,
were
it's
problems with the electric meter, the new
Suddenly-
electric meters.
Everybody's bills were accurate and higher.
No, they were lower, I believe.
Oh,
I can't remember, but they weren't correct.
yeah, interesting. Yeah,
Talk to her about that.
yeah. So it's kind of a mystery,
Okay,
which I suspect.
but you're hoping to solve it.
We're hoping to solve it. I suspect we just are gonna have to.
Wow.
Request a supplemental budget from the assembly to pay for an extra $12,000 to $15,000 of electrical usage in the coming year. That's my guess.
Ah.
I would,
Mhm.
speculate.
Okay,
I'll have an answer to this by fall.
alrighty.
Oh yeah, the T-shirt project. Few stumbling blocks, man,
Yeah.
getting a good T-shirt.
Is it difficult?
Really, really hard. I mean, the unisex T-shirt thing is just not working out. these shirts, and I'm trying them on because I'm a sort of average to larger size person, and so they're all like down to here on me.
Oh,
So we're backing away from unisex because we can't find a nice quality unisex shirt that's not like a dress.
Right,
If it's like a dress on a person who's 5'10".
right, it's gonna be
no.
Yeah.
full length
Not
dress.
gonna be full length dress.
Someone that's,
Exactly.
5'2".
Not gonna work.
No, it's not gonna work.
So instead, we're just, the basic black hoodie is such a big deal here.
Mhm.
People just seem to eat them up.
Yeah,
We've
that-
all liked
it
it.
is,
People like the
yes.
basic black, so this will be designed on the back.
And the arm.
Design on the side, so the
Cool.
rest is, we've got products, I think they're in the mail right now to look at, they'll probably be fine. And Doris will design the sleeve, and then hopefully, maybe by fall, we can. get those in.
And Kelly has a nice hoodie. Of course, it's thinner.
Yeah,
So did you get like a medium weight or something?
large.
No, I mean for the weight,
The weight,
the weight of the fabric.
Oh, the weight of the fabric.
because
I think
Salmon
it is-
Sisters
I think it is
is,
medium weight.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
is-
The variety.
this is not a
Yeah.
heavy weight for
Yeah.
Salmon Sisters.
Yeah,
But
so heavy is
I think
good.
Kelly's is lighter weight than that. It's a little lightweight for me.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna wear a hoodie, I want.
Yeah, we had ordered
Yeah,
some black,
this is
lightweight ones, and they were almost see-through.
Right,
Oh, interesting.
They're terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're being really picky.
Because that's good. You want them to be good quality.
It's okay to
Yeah.
be picky.
I'm Doris and I kind of enjoy this
It's
process.
very
Yeah.
thoughtful, because you don't want to just be adamant, they have to go the way they never is.
Yeah.
End up with a pile of junk you can't
Yes.
sell. no-
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Just a waste.
Okay,
Well, that's cool. I can't wait for those.
yeah, me too. And so I also included some articles that have been
Right.
published about the library lately, which are
Yeah.
wonderful. Shout out to Lizzie. who's not here,
Let's see.
but She wrote an article for National Library Week.
Oh, that was excellent. Yes.
So covered
Very
everything.
nice.
Yeah, excellent.
And also Shelby, who I believe is the intern at KFS County. Wrote or did a story about
Oh,
Kathy Rousseau.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was great to have all that wonderful coverage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good to have our stories being reported on.
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
it was.
I wish you would, I would love to have taken that class, but it just didn't work out for my
I
timing.
couldn't even go to her Thursday evening. I wanted to just go to the first one.
Yeah, pushing it out till the end of April, and we had to do it because of
Yeah.
unforeseen circumstances, but it definitely, we learned that that's not a great time to have programs. People just, they start, it's so busy in April.
Yeah. Did you have a full class?
No.
Okay, yeah,
I'm surprised.
well,
It's the timing,
yeah,
because I couldn't,
it was gonna be February, right? Is that when it was?
March.
March. And that's still a good indoor,
Mhm.
Yeah.
let's do crafty month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tara. Anything else? Any questions, you guys? Okay, so unfinished business. The proposed fiscal year 24 general fund budget passed in first and second readings. One more, and then it'll be approved.
Great.
No comments were received on the library's budget request.
correct.
I talked to my personal assembly member about that. Why? He said, you have a really low budget compared to all other departments.
Yes, that is
And
true.
so,
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, we like
Good.
it.
Mhm.
yeah,
We're under the radar.
yeah. It's exciting because we'll have that 24-hour position in the budget if it passes in its third reading. So-
Oh, great.
Oh.
Because you've got,
nice.
that's happening now, isn't it?
Yeah, we
You're-
did get that temporarily approved.
Yes,
for
right.
Beth to train under Chris, and so that's been going so well that it'd be fantastic to keep her on at 24 as a library technician rather than a clerk who always cross training.
Yeah. Is there a meeting today?
No,
It's next Monday.
it's the first Monday of June.
Yeah,
So it's not next Monday. Next
Yeah.
Monday is like, I think the 30th, the
It's
29th.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, that's Memorial Day.
So it's the week after that.
Right.
okay.
Yeah, so it's
Cool.
exciting to see that we're
Yeah,
getting
Yeah.
closer to that.
very cool. Okay, under new business.
that's-
Library's gonna award a tier 1 grant, 23,000 from Rasmussen Foundation to purchase a copy machine and expand collections with an outright grant of 23,000.
Wonderful.
So, okay. Yeah,
Will it be black and white copy machine?
It'll be
color?
pretty much what we have now, only it'll work better.
They get obsolete.
Yeah, so it'll be color copies and scanning.
Oh,
well, you get used a lot.
Yeah,
It's
they
10
do.
years of relatively high
Oh.
usage, and so.
And so it's 10 years old.
This is a
Wow.
good example of why we need a new one.
Oh,
This pink sheet, this pink
yeah.
line that goes through everything,
Oh, yeah.
we can't get rid of it.
Oh,
We get more than a bunch of it.
This is license.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
interesting.
yeah, and that's just one of a few sort of little gremlin tape problems that we have, so, but they're
Yeah.
expensive, it's about $13,000. so
Okay.
Wow.
But those are complex machines.
They are.
One of my jobs used to be to clear all the jams in the elementary
Oh,
machines. And keep them stocked with the ink and the powder or whatever they use. Paper, that was just a lot, and one little tiny piece of paper in the wrong place.
Mhm.
Yes,
Can throw
Remember
everything.
that.
yeah, I think ours is just getting dusty on the inside and,
Mhm.
you know. time
So
for-
Tara, when you get a new one, do you get like so much maintenance or where someone will take care of it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, generally maintenance is pretty cheap if you're actually paying.
Yeah.
Fee for
Mhm.
okay.
a month.
Someone comes in and does that from out. of
Yeah,
town.
although almost nobody ever comes into town. Does maintenance on a copier. I don't know if we've seen that since we moved in here.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
used to
good
get
one.
somebody at the school.
There used to be a wonderful guy named Walter who would come through. Everybody knew that we check all the machines. Our machines run a lot better.
In town.
But now it's all we can do. to get
Nothing.
somebody on the phone.
Oh, dear.
Huh.
Hmm.
So we can't find anybody in Juneau that might be,
Xerox has a rep in Juneau.
Oh,
but
okay.
The rep doesn't often, I think, travel.
okay,
A lot of stuff can be solved remotely with these machines. They're
Sure.
networked.
Oh, yeah.
well, that's good.
but sometimes you need to vacuum them out and
That's
do
where,
that.
that's where we're at. We do have
Yep.
just kind of mechanical
Mhm.
issues with it now, so time for a new one. And I had a feeling when we bought this one as part of the new library project, at 10 years, we would have to replace it.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
It's just. And
That's
how
a
nice for
long
Rasmussen to pay for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
nice to
great.
get a grant for it.
so
Yeah.
if it's 13,000 for the copy machine, that means 10,000 for,
An extra $10,000 for collections.
and that's above what you normally, oh, that's
Nice.
It'd
great.
be nice. Yeah, Kari, Chris, and myself, and now Beth all do a lot of purchasing, so we all
Great,
Good.
will have a little more money to.
Yeah.
nice,
to build the
very
collection,
nice.
Which is always fun,
Mhm.
yeah.
That is fun. Okay, new business B is terms are expiring this fall for Mary
Oh.
Ellen, myself and Lizzie,
Yeah,
says Elizabeth
I'll be
Thompson.
running again.
good.
Okay.
And Mary,
Well, but I, have I been on here too long?
no,
Well,
you
I
haven't.
always feel that way. It's like how many years, but I enjoy doing it.
I do too.
There's no one else seeming to
I
be clamoring to take our.
Well, and I still feel like I'm bringing something to the table.
Yes, I
you
agree.
know,
I,
so,
all three of you should run again. Yes.
okay. So I guess that takes. care of
Was
it.
is Lizzie pretty much preoccupied then?
Yeah, she has her hands full.
I
Yeah,
wonder about, younger people. We don't have anyone really young on the board.
Gina Esposito,
She's the youngest.
she is.
Not that young.
You didn't hear that, Gina, if you're
I was
listening.
just thinking, I mean, no offense, Gina, but you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Somebody in their 20s or, I don't
Yeah.
know, just a thought that.
Well,
One of
yeah,
us chooses not to run or
Right.
something, maybe we can
Mhm.
recruit or put the word out there
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
and if people are so inclined, they will run.
yeah, they bring
Yeah.
a different perspective. That's always good.
So in July, when they advertise the.
Yes,
We have to do our due.
Letter of candidates.
Right, you had
Go in and do our thing.
yes.
We have to
you did.
declare by sometime in August, I think,
Sometime in
right?
August, and
Yes.
so as soon as I get that from Debbie, I'll make sure you three get it.
Okay,
Okay.
Let you guys all know if we need to recruit and.
okay.
Yeah, I'll be busy in August.
That's
Oh,
right.
oh, you will be, won't you?
Yes. So.
Hopefully August, hopefully just go over into September, we'll see.
Okay,
Could we go back
discussion,
to collections for a second?
yes,
So that's like kind of leftover, so there's $10,000. And so,
Yeah.
but my first thing is, Okay, so where are you gonna put it? But, I mean, do you, is it necessarily,
Oh, there she is.
Hey,
oh, Lizzie's coming.
Lizzie's coming.
Yay.
Okay, so you wanna know about the extra money?
Oh. Yeah, extra money. So, and that means books.
I mean, books and DVDs, probably with a focus on popular materials.
Mhm.
And if we don't spend it all, sometimes what I'll do is if I have an extra expense that I haven't budgeted for, say something big breaks, then you can kind of move money around such that you don't have to spend as much money out of your collections budget.
Right.
You can use the grant and then you can use the money from the borough budget to fund, that thing that broke.
So that money for collection is designated a little bit more, generally.
Yeah, although it is for collections,
Uh-huh.
but if we don't use money in our collections budget from the borough, we can. move
Oh,
that.
right.
That has flexibility. The grant doesn't have flexibility, but
Okay.
our budget.
That, just remind me how much is in the budget from the borough?
For
Remind us all.
collections, I think it's about $27,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, that's, it's sort of like that represents a certain amount of work anyway, because if you're gonna bring it in, then you gotta.
Catalog it,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
yeah.
That's,
So
Yeah.
Lizzie, we are on new
And cart the old
business.
stuff out.
Just to
Right.
let Lizzie know where we're at. We're on new business.
and we also are talking about the terms expiring. So Lizzie, are you thinking that you would like to run again in the fall?
I really love being on the library board. Yes, I would. I'm not sure what my future holds. We're heading into another surgery on Friday,
Oh.
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'm late because I just have so much going on trying to get everything lined up. So if there's somebody else that would really love to do it, I would give my seat up for the betterment of the library. But if I can still do it and sometimes be flaky, I'd love to be on the library board with you all.
And you don't have to decide till the end of August. So there's room and you might know more how your life is going by then too.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. And
Yeah,
if you guys know of someone who'd be a really great asset, I wouldn't want to take the opportunity from someone. I've been on a long time but I do want to stay on the board.
Good.
Marilyn and I were commenting the same thing. We've both been on for so long, maybe they need somebody to kick it out.
oh dear.
But yeah, no, we're both gonna go again, so
Yeah,
whatever works best for you.
I have another question about the collections. I know that people say, would you buy this book for the library? Do you ever have too many requests that you can't fill?
no,
No, okay.
that person, it's usually a teenager, gets super excited about the idea that you can request a book and they'll just buy it or a DVD.
Mhm.
But it hasn't happened in forever. and
Okay, good.
Normally they taper off at some point, so we
Good.
really haven't had too many people. We have lots of people do it, but nobody
Mhm.
exceeds what's normal.
Good,
yeah.
okay.
So we have, under, discussion items, under A, I did have one comment before the calendar
Okay.
thing. I'm not sure if everyone's aware, maybe you are, but I heard on Friday that Jill Lenhard gave her resignation.
Oh,
And they do have another librarian lined up coming to
oh,
town.
good.
What?
She told me, yep.
Really? Would
She
she get,
confided in me. I should
she
probably-
get it
She
lined
didn't
up
give me
before
any
she
more
quit?
information than that there will be someone in the position again. That's what I was concerned.
Good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I don't have any more information than that.
Right.
So,
And then the other,
theoretically, that's the case.
so when she sent it out to the teachers, she put in there, and we are not selling our house, so don't ask. Put that in with the fact that she was, yeah, anyways, that's it.
Okay.
So now the online.
Oh,
calendar.
yes. The online calendar, if there is like the science series, I think is on there, but there are some items that are not on the calendar that are actually happening in the community room. I've noticed, and
Yeah, so I'll distinguish the two things.
yeah, and
because-
why aren't they on the calendar?
Because the library calendar is only library sponsored activities.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
Science series as a partnership
is-
between us and the Marine Advisory program and a couple of other local organizations.
So the libraries.
There are library sponsored programs, but yeah,
Gotcha.
people book our meetings for whatever they want to, really, as long as it's in the guidance.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of, so the, like the Five Finger Lighthouse,
If they didn't book it as a library program, it wouldn't show. on the
Right.
calendar.
and it didn't, so I thought it had been canceled.
Oh, yeah.
So how does it become a library program?
We're a co-sponsor of the program, and so we partner with the organization, take partial responsibility for certain things like advertising.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is, like, it can be a little confusing with public presentations,
Mhm.
but the room is also just booked by a lot of people.
No, I,
as
Yeah.
well.
I understand
And,
that,
you know,
but-
like the Emblem Club. meets
Right,
here, The veterans
right.
meet here.
yeah,
So it's, yeah, it is sort of a little blurry. Normally, the Five Finger Light Society would do it as a science series.
yeah,
And so their stuff would have ended up on our calendar, and they usually get a huge.
I know.
Huge group.
And-
Yeah, I'm interested in that, and I never go to the meetings.
well,
I'd like
it
to
wasn't
get
on the
one.
calendar, because
Yeah,
I
it would
checked the
be.
calendar.
Yeah.
It was very
decided-
interesting, because they did a history thing
Yes,
Yeah.
I know,
about the lighthouse. It was good.
a few weeks ago, or I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly when, but, okay.
Did you say what
Did you-
you said again? One more time.
On
About
the radio,
if
yeah.
the Five Finger Light were to,
Libraries,
To Partner with the science series, then that would be on the. calendar.
so they need to do that then, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Well, if they
Partner
They
with,
want to. Yeah.
well, what does it entail,
I
partner?
think basically just ask them if they could partner with us so that we could help
Yeah,
spread the word. You would think they would like.
Yeah,
that.
I would think
We've done that with
You
them
guys do
before.
such a good job marketing.
And it was,
Yes.
one of our first Sunday nights, and they were a little disappointed, there weren't a lot of people. But, it was a Sunday night, and I think there was something going on at school. I can't remember, you know how it is in April.
but I wonder if that's experience that you're talking
Mhm.
about is maybe more pervasive and.
I think it is.
Yeah, and there's, and I'm gonna, at this point in time, somebody would say, oh, you just have to look, or you want to see everything, you could just go, but there must not be that place.
What about the
Okay.
campus
Campus
day
day.
calendar?
It was, it was on there, then it wasn't, then it was back on. When I checked,
Or did it get shuffled?
maybe,
You know, because
maybe,
if you don't click on that plus
I
thing,
didn't
maybe.
read that calendar.
it's
so
very
much stuff.
difficult, yeah.
oh my
Yes,
gosh.
The
And people,
predicament of a community calendar has been a problem in Petersburg.
Yeah,
Ever since
okay.
they-
I know.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
It
Richard
just-
University used to keep one on the side of First Bank.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or the
Oh,
handwritten one.
yes, I remember it when we first got here,
That was a
yeah.
The valid, whatever it is, not valid, valiant attempt.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, okay,
right.
Herculean.
well, and they didn't quite get the pop-up silent auction for the book sale correct either, because they had it going all week, even though it said that it ended on May 17th. But it was, there was a
You can
line
just
that,
send them a- You could just send them a quick
Yeah,
note and they'll
okay,
fix it.
okay.
Yeah, they want to get it right, but they've got
Yeah.
so much coming.
I know, I know.
Well,
Keeping the
especially that week.
calendar is,
Yeah,
okay,
all right,
thank you.
you bet.
So
Okay,
this particular agenda item, communication from the public, I just put it on there because just as a reminder, if there's anything you guys hear when you're out and about, I mean, let me know.
okay.
Things people say. positive
Oh,
things.
okay,
Yeah,
you want the feedback?
yes,
Yeah.
questions. Has library thought of doing this or that kind of stuff? I mean, we can't do it all, but we can. try.
Well, the calendar was one of them, because somebody brought it to my attention
Yeah, it's a
that
good
Five Finger
example.
Lighthouse wasn't there, and why isn't it there, and blah, blah, blah.
How'd you mention that? That's a-
Lizzie, do you have something?
Just, Joe Sebastian. Just, loves the library very, very much.
Good,
Yes, he had a lot to say about how much he loves the library. And what an
nice.
outstanding director Tara is. Oh, it's the article about the library.
Mhm.
He came in and,
From National Library Week, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
That you wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
That
Excellent.
you did. Job.
thank you.
We already gave you high praise, but you weren't here yet.
Rats.
So we'll do it.
Here's burning.
We'll do it to your face now.
So you write fiction and non.
This is, yeah.
Where's that line? Right there.
Okay, item B, American Library Association reports record number of demands to censor library books and materials in 2022. So I personally went in here and I went to the site here. Where did I go? Anyway, I read over the different lists of banned books, you know, from whenever. It's pretty mind-boggling how books that we used to think were fine aren't anymore, and how the same, like the blue eyes,
Oh, the
help me.
bluest eye,
Bluest-
Toni Morrison.
Yes, Toni Morrison, that's been on a ban list since, I don't know, maybe since.
What's
it
in-
was published,
What's the name of the book?
The Bluest Eye. It's about a little black girl that thinks if she had blue eyes, then people would like her,
Yeah.
basically, bottom line. But it's interesting, there's books in there that I'm like, some of the children's books are that we read in book club when our girls were in book club, I'm like, wow. I
Like
don't
the
remember
Pullman
the,
books,
well,
Golden Compass.
yes,
Oh, those are.
and-
good.
yes.
What's
Um,
wrong?
the tablet,
Oh,
under, no, I can't remember right now, so don't listen to me, but anyway. Yeah, it's just
It's
incredible
pretty
what disease, it's just amazing and it's scary and it's.
could I bring up another subject, and that is the fact that they're rewriting books,
Right,
and that. I don't like that either, because
Right.
look, maybe there's a bad word in a book from 1920 or whatever,
Yeah.
but that's how they talk back then.
trying to make them.
And they're trying to bring them into the 2020s, and I have a problem with that as well.
Well, books are kind of like etched in a certain sensibility. in the
Yeah.
time that they're written.
Exactly, yeah,
Some author just wrote about that and said that they did not like that. Books were being brought to the norms of
yes.
2023.
They're at the norms of when they were written,
Right,
which are completely
And-
different.
and.
So are we gonna go back and
Yeah.
change the newspapers too?
Yeah.
Because,
exactly.
you know, when I curate yesterday's news, sometimes there are articles that would be
This is
kind
a
of fun,
calendar.
but they call Japanese people Japs.
Oh,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And the
Exactly.
way they talk about the native people is so disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, are we
Exactly.
gonna go
It's
back and
also-
change that?
Right,
Artificial intelligence could do this.
In 2 minutes.
Yeah. it
which
could.
is
Yeah.
really
But
And
good.
they
then
did.
it kind of
And
scary.
change.
That's scary too.
It is,
I don't-
when I have conversations with parents, I always, or what I did, I would always point out, this was a good opportunity to bring up a conversation with your child
Exactly.
about what's appropriate and what's,
Exactly.
how times have changed.
Mhm.
And
And
if
why?
that is offensive, you also have a choice not to check that book out.
Exactly,
You know,
that's
this-
the biggest thing.
This talks about the complexity of human experience is what it talks about, really. Because if you change, because that's what books are talking about. They're
Yes.
talking about, complications of
Mhm.
emotions and the way
Mhm.
people express themselves and the feeling tones of all these things. And so if you, and that's, I mean, that's the artwork of it there, so.
That's right.
Well, and if you go
Yeah.
back and cleanse everything out
Oh,
and
God.
change it and make it mono through one perspective, then that whole opportunity for discussion
Exactly.
ceases to exist.
So you
Well
should do it
said.
a little bit,
I don't, well,
yeah.
yeah,
I don't,
No, do it a little bit.
you're saying do it a little bit?
No,
No,
don't
no,
do it.
I agree.
When you said cleanse, Hitler came to mind.
Uh-huh.
You said cleanse, and I'm like,
Well,
whoa.
exactly.
Or you
go
burn
back
it, burn it.
and
and it's-
take out anything that someone
Mm-mm.
considers offensive. I understand the desire to not offend people. I don't want people to be
No.
offended. But at the same time, again, it's opportunity for conversation that's
Yes, it
important to
is.
have.
I
And
agree.
they
To
don't have to
good
read that book.
conversations
Exactly.
about, yes, it was like this back
Mhm.
then, and how can we, we're, look
Yeah.
where we're going, are we going in the right direction, is this improving?
Yeah. You
Have we
need that
learned anything over
conversation.
time?
You need the conversation, I think.
Anyway,
So if you're not taking advantage of
It
base
makes,
human nature for political or economic gain, Okay.
The irony is there's a book about this. Remember The Giver?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
and that's on the list.
Exactly, that's one that's banned frequently.
Where they
It's on
cleanse
the
the whole
book.
history?
Exactly. That was one we read from other.
That was one of the ones we read, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Golden Book.
about where a book is placed in the library? If it's not appropriate for kids, it may, and who determines that? It shouldn't be in the kids section. It should be in the teen or adult section.
That's a
And
tough call
and
to
how do
make,
you do that?
because different kids mature at different rates and different parents have different desires for their kids and. You know, I had kids who needed certain books in elementary that some parents might argue shouldn't be in elementary. And yet I knew they were experiencing things that
Yes.
this book might be just fine for this particular kid. And I wanted, you know what I mean?
Yes,
So it's.
Well, it's a slippery slope. Once you
it
start,
is.
once you start censoring,
Yeah.
Tara, didn't we talk one meeting about books that maybe are not quite, it should not be in the kids section? And if somebody wanted to check it out, did they have to have a parent's permission, or am I remembering?
Parent permission.
Not this
That
one.
starts with P.
Well, I know, I
That
don't,
times with current interest.
yes. But I mean, any kid can check out anything in the
Children that
library.
Get a library card and say under the age of 10 off the top of my head. Don't quote me on that. For children to get a library card, they need a parent or guardian to sign on their.
To sign, that was
But
it,
not
to
to
sign on the
check out a
card,
book.
good,
Right.
okay,
Absolutely
To
not.
get.
Okay,
to
good.
get the card.
yeah, to get the
Yeah.
card.
And that's your question about like where things go in
Yes.
the collection. You know, a lot of on the current censors, but the challenged list that
Mhm.
you'll see, there's a lot of youth and children's books. I'd say that they predominate these lists right now.
They
the
do.
Challenges and
Children's books.
yeah, and so what you would see us do if we had a challenge of that nature is we would look to other libraries to see where other libraries had classified it. We'd see where review journals had reviewed it. We would, you know, sort of, there's no specific like, one source you would say this is in the right place. But we would go and do that kind of work to try and figure out, and sometimes we do put things in the wrong section, and sometimes we do change them.
But you wouldn't get rid of the book, you would move it to a different,
That would be a conversation for the library board. I would bring it
Yeah,
to you
like
guys.
that.
like the one we had already,
For
right?
me, you know, if a kid, there's no age on when you can get a semi-automatic rifle, but we're going to keep books out of their hands.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
So I knew I joined the right board.
yeah.
So this is a really good discussion, and people ask me how come I was joining the library board, and I said, because we've got to protect what's in there. You know, it's,
Yes.
and I don't think, I think this whole escalation of banned books is just an attempt to rewrite history and also set things up in a, you know, more polarizing us versus them type thing, which luckily doesn't necessarily isn't prominent here in this community, but it is certainly in lots of other places. But I'm glad to hear that at least this library is not going into that gray area or trying to really succumb to that political pressure to ban books. I'm not involved enough with the school district to know what's happening there, but at least in the public library, it's not.
Well, we haven't been approached yet, Deb, to
Right.
have anybody, that nobody's asked us yet. They
Right.
don't know how, they listen to this, they know.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's enough of an
So-
open forum
so-
and we talk about it.
Yeah.
So there was one other thing I was just gonna say, because I really do prefer to be in a meeting in person, and it's a little easier to follow the discussion. But, and I just wanted to say that there's and when we're all in the same room, the over talking doesn't
Oh,
counteract, but because the meeting is being recorded and I'm noticing it on Zoom, that there's, we all tend to talk over each other or even have side conversations. So folks won't, if they're listening to this meeting, if they ever do that, they're going to have a hard time hearing everybody, what we're saying.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. We get excited.
We do.
I know, I'm getting excited too.
Okay, any further discussion on this, on B? I think we covered it
Well,
pretty good.
I wondered, do we feel, we know we have a good system in place for the potential for any kind of challenge to come along, and I wondered, I know the schools have as well. I just wondered if we ever wanted to do some sort of a mock challenge just to test. It's been a long time since we've done anything like that. I know in the past, ages ago, we did one. When Joyce was here, before you were here, we had someone come in and pretend to
Oh,
be irate about a particular book, and then we had to handle it. So it was a dry run through of potentially what could happen, because the emotions tend to get
mhm.
flaring when things happen.
Yes.
That's just one thought I had about that.
We had a
Maybe I
real
should
challenge
try
last. Oh, yeah, we had a real challenge last year. Were you?
Yes, we did.
Yep, yep.
Oh, maybe you weren't here,
Aggressive.
right?
No.
No, with,
What was the book?
Harvey Gilliland.
Harvey.
Oh, yes.
Harvey Gilliland.
That was a real
It was
challenge.
a
Wrong
DVD
person,
series.
sorry.
Yeah.
And I thought it was handled very well.
So
What
that
was,
a
what
good-
was the book?
It was a DVD. It's funny, they talk a lot about book challenges, but they don't talk about DVD challenges, which
Right.
surprises me because DVDs are a lot easier to be offended by.
Yellowstone.
It was Deadwood.
Yeah.
Deadwood, that was
Right.
at Deadwood.
It was a cowboy one.
It's an HBO Western
Yeah,
and
That's right.
very graphic, very hard to watch if that's not your game.
and a lot of F word. That's what he was opposed to,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
F word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not the
yeah,
graphic.
no, he didn't mention that.
I suspect that might have been a problem too, but
Yeah.
I think the whole package probably would bother Harvey.
Yeah, it was the F word that was really, he was
Yeah.
very upset about.
yeah,
And that's understandable. It was
Yeah.
shocking.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, so, but it was an interesting case for all of us
Mhm.
to go through that process
Right.
and see what it looked like, for me too.
Yeah,
Because I haven't had anything come through in the form of, someone actually writing it down in my whole 20 years here.
and doing what you're talking about, Mary Ellen, my first thought is that because everything's so volatile now
Yeah.
with this happening, that maybe we should just
Yeah, no, I agree.
let it ride till it
That's-
happens,
yes.
because then they could go, oh, someone might go, oh, we could do that here too,
Right.
can't we?
Mhm.
Oh, and we have
I
to
mean-
do it in an open meeting, so.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
Right,
Some of what we could work out sort of with role playing in a private meeting would be different.
Wonder, would it ever be appropriate to hire a mediator for something like that?
Well, I actually think our board has good policies in place. I think you guys
Okay.
did. And at some point, the borough's attorney would probably, I saw this in Ketchikan recently.
right,
I don't know if you guys have been following what's happening in Ketchikan.
I have.
I highly recommend.
What is the book? Is there
I
a specific book?
I don't remember the title of the
Okay.
book right now, but they have a bunch of things about story time and they've got a bunch of issues, but the particular book that was challenged recently, they actually ended up turning to their attorney who defined obscenity. And said it's, you keep it in the collection unless it's considered obscenity under the law.
Okay,
And so,
Oh.
we have a really good process in place.
There you go. Yeah,
yeah.
Good.
I heard that on the radio. That was on the radio, and I tried to follow up and really
Yeah.
didn't get anywhere. So that's great. You've been able to.
yeah, because I said something to everybody when I saw the article, I think, but yeah, we didn't know. Thank you for that.
Yeah, so I put this in your package just because we all know this is happening.
It is.
Yeah,
And I think we'll be ready for it when it happens here, which I'm sure it will.
There was a lot of community. Do you remember the details? I mean, was it just the library board or the council people or something in Ketchikan? It seemed like there was a.
There was a whole slate of issues in Ketchikan,
Oh.
which started with drag queen story time last year.
Oh, right.
Evolved into a referendum on their funding.
Yes.
right.
Then evolved into a challenge for a particular book. I can't remember the name, I'm sorry, but I'm
If you-
sure I would know it.
If you think
We
of
don't
it,
have that book in our collection, but that book, the news story is very interesting because they had their it's a teen sexuality book. And they had their teen group give their opinion about
Huh.
the board. board gave their opinion about it, and the attorney gave his opinion about it, and it's very interesting, it makes for interesting reading.
Mhm.
Is that in the Ketchikan paper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can Google it.
Is that something you
So-
could send us a link to, Tara?
Yeah, sure. I
Oh,
can.
that would be good. I'm
And if you
sorry,
get the
I
name of
have
the
to
book.
take off because I'm leaving on the 2 o'clock.
Goodbye.
But I have to go home first.
Okay.
So I can't.
Oh,
hear
yeah,
the
so you've got some
update.
running
Well, I can take over if you want, because there's only one more
Yeah,
thing to
it's
go.
just The update. See you
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.
Safe travels.
Good trip.
Good trip.
Thank you. It's a great day.
I think that Ketchikan case would be really important because you know
Wendy,
that the
Gilbert.
decision by the assembly was really hinged on the youth that testified at the assembly meeting. It really had a huge impact and I think changed a lot of the votes.
Hmm.
Oh,
Or at least
interesting.
enough key votes to make a difference. So, because the youth were saying, don't keep this information from us, you know.
Yeah,
That's a good point to make, which makes me think back to our membership on the board. We used to have a student representative from the school at one point who would come
Yes.
and attend meetings.
Yeah, the counselor over at the school they would somehow elect a person.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
they
They
stopped
had
doing it.
one for different boards. It's just we've been through several different counselors. They may not even know. We might wanna.
We still do have a teen advisory group. They
That's
don't really
true.
meet as like you guys meet,
Mhm.
but they do the regular program and do some other activities.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm glad to hear that those kids spoke up
Yeah.
and that people found them
they
there.
listened.
They listened.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
They're engaged.
Find it, interesting that the same kind of facet has these really strong ideas about freedom of educating your child the way you want to, freedom of, just so many things, and yet they want to control books.
Right.
Right.
There's a hypocrisy there that
I think you're right.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this is a sort of a tangent, but I don't know if you've all heard that Seattle Public Library has made its online ebook collection available to all use.
No.
The New York Public Library has already done this.
Yes, I remember. they did
Anybody,
that.
everyone?
I believe it, like, I don't even think you need to be in the United States.
I
to be
think,
able to-
yeah.
Yeah, so there's a movement amongst the larger libraries in the country to try and counteract that with electronic access. to
Yeah.
books, because there's so many ways to get a book now.
You
It's picking it
bet.
up off our shelf.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So many ways.
So what collection was made open from the
New York
Seattle?
City Public Library and the Seattle Public Library ebook collections.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Ebook.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on this, or just one more item, which I will talk about? but-
Quiet now.
Well, okay, we had Friends of the Library update. We had a pop-up silent auction. Which ran from May 15, 16 to noon on the 17th. We had 2 tables up in the main part of the library. And we brought in over $200.
Great.
So we brought in as much as we bring in for a normal book sale. So, and Kari was a great help. She helped to organize the placement of the tables and that, and it went really well. It was well attended, not as much as if we have a community room book sale like we'll do in the fall. But I would do it again in August, once all of this. I think doing one more in the summer, if I'm here and I can get enough help. I had 3 people who helped, so it was a huge success for the amount of work that was involved.
Mhm.
And I don't know how much was brought in for the sales from the carts
I can check in the desk.
during that 3-day period, because I was refilling the book carts every day. So
Wow.
anyway, it was a huge success, and I think for the amount of work involved, it pays off, but I don't know if it's too much for the front desk people.
That would be my only concern. Is it adding too much?
Not sure it's adding too much. I think the one thing is visual Like,
Yes.
I mean, one thing about our libraries, we're very careful about like
Yes,
the visual when you walk in,
Mhm.
so to try and keep it, looking nice and
Yeah.
the book sales are never the tidiest things.
no,
That's
but the two tables for the auction worked out
And they were
okay.
beautifully laid out.
Yes.
To say like,
Thank you.
they looked great.
It did.
Yeah.
And then we were there at noon. I rang my little bell and when the bidding ends and Mary Clemens calls everybody if they're not there. So I thought it worked quite well. And if the front desk people are willing to do it again, I'd do it again.
I'll check in with everyone. and
Yeah,
how much-
see how they feel.
and
Yeah.
honest opinions.
Right, right. Anyway,
We don't wanna
that's
overstep.
right. Yeah.
How come? I think it works so good.
Well,
a
it's
weird
the front
dynamic that
desk.
You have to call them then because they gotta stick around. It's not like people from out of town.
Right, well, there's one couple that was, ended up being out of town and they're coming tomorrow to pay for the $25 bid that they made on a book. So, yeah. Anyway, if that's, it went really well.
Yeah.
And I think we were there at the key times. There were very few people who actually showed up at the beginning, but that last day was, the hour was a little hectic. but
Well, what
not
I
too-
like too is that we get so many nice, really nice materials
know,
donated and it
yes.
values those nice.
That's right,
collections. It-
yeah.
It honors that and people want to
Yeah,
support the library and pay.
yeah. We got
Yeah.
15, 20, $25 on
That's
quite a few
great.
items.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with Mary Ellen. I think it like it helps you make that connection between valuing the library.
yes,
Like, and being, participating in the book sale.
right.
I think they get that connection a lot closer with the silent auction.
Yeah, so we're hoping to have another book sale in the community room in October. And we'll have a silent auction table. So any of the really good books, I don't put them out. I set them aside for the silent auction.
Great. Well, thank you. That's a lot of hard work.
It
I
is,
appreciate
it's a
it.
lot of work. And Cindy, who wasn't here for this one, but she
Yeah.
does a lot of it too. But anyway, that's my update on the Friends of the Library.
All right.
Okay, next meeting.
Probably not till October. After the election. We
Ah,
take the summer off.
that's right. The
right.
election is
Usually
October-
5th or 6th. I think it's the
whatever
first
that Tuesday is. Yeah, okay. So October sometime.
Yeah.
After the election.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We have the
Okay.
summer off.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Sorry I
Does
was
any-
late.
Well, that's okay.
Okay. Does anybody want to move to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting. It
I'll
is
second
1:04.
In a second? Okay, the meeting's adjourned. Gavel, gavel.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
Well,
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All righty then.